prayer followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Father God, we thank you for your kindness in bringing us all together today. Though we may not know what this meeting holds, we know that you do. As we begin, Lord, help us to keep your word in mind. Lead us into conversations that are fruitful and enrich the lives of those who are here today. When we are undecided, please lead us in your wisdom. When our opinions may disagree, help us to remain respectful to one another. More than anything, Lord, would you help us both to seek your will and to pursue your glory through all that we say and do. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I call the meeting to order for agenda business. Public comment. Do we have anybody? No public comment. All right. We have the minutes from our last meeting. Can we get a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the August 4th meeting as presented.
Motion on the floor is to approve the minutes from our August 4th meeting. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. All right, reports. Brett, you got anything from the?
No, not right now, except, that when the next round of, grants comes around, as always, we're ready to get letter of support whenever they, generate, when they're ready to go. So,
Sheriff?
and also hope that, the commissioner sees Foot's feeling better and he'll be back with us as soon as possible.
You hear that, Chris?
Yeah, well, thank you. I'm gaining.
He cares about you.
No report.
No report. Brenda, anything? All right. Correspondence? All right, our next meeting will be?
September 1st.
September the 1st. Already gonna be September. All right, so, items for discussion and action. We have an informational presentation regarding the West Virginia Wild and Wonderful Celtic Festival and Highland Games.
That would be me.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand up here so I look important.
Okay.
Good afternoon, commissioners, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Timothy Ferguson. I'm the president of the West Virginia Wild and Wonderful Celtic Festival and Highland Games Incorporated. I'm also a member of the Clan Ferguson Society of North America, a former resident of Elkins, Valley Bend, and Kearns. I attended school at Elkins Central School, showing my age, and Elkins Junior High School. I'm a retired 31-year veteran of the Army, and I'm a direct descendant of a famous Ferguson from Beverly. Robert Ferguson, a famous blacksmith from Beverly, built the jailhouses for Elkins and Beverly years ago. I can still remember my grandpa telling me stories about this beastly man. I'm here to announce our upcoming Celtic Festival and Highland Games event. The festival will be held at Camp Pioneer in Beverly on June 17th of 23. We're planning on making this an annual event that will be held on the third Saturday in June yearly. I have been to dozens of Celtic festivals up and down the East Coast, several different states. I sincerely believe that we can make this festival one of the best in the nation. Camp Pioneer is a perfect venue for our event. Our festival will include activities for both young and old. Some of the attractions will be a Celtic ancestry tent, where visitors can research their Celtic family history. A clan village with several different clan families. This area will highlight each individual clan's history. We'll have traditional Celtic food and drinks, Highland dancing featuring Elkins' very own West Virginia Highland dancers, as well as many others. Pipe and drum bands, a clan and pipe and drum parade, a mass pipe and drum band gathering, playing the Amazing Grace for our fallen heroes. Live Celtic music, storytelling, and more. Blacksmith demonstrations and blacksmith merchandise vendors, traditional Celtic apparel, accessories, jewelry, handbags, and arts vendors. Border collie and sheepdog herding demonstrations, Scottish deerhound and Irish wolfhounds, Highland games such as caber toss, sheep toss, and the kilted 5K run. An adaptive Highland game for handicapped athletes. This will be special to me because Warrior 360 will be there. There's guys that have artificial limbs. They can throw a telephone pole. Good to watch. For the children, there will be a $100 4-leaf clover hunt, a Loch Ness monster, and a unicorn hunt. Highland games for the kids that include tug of war against the heavy athletes. Arts, crafts, coloring corner, Highland dance lessons, free face painting, and more. I've previously met with the Randolph County Recreation Board and secured Camp Pioneer for our event. There is no doubt that fairs and festivals are great for the community. Our festival will be no different. The local community can benefit from our festival. Our festival will bring a lot of visitors to Beverly, Elkins, and Randolph County. Local businesses such as hotels, restaurants, and retailers will benefit financially. Residents can research their connection to the Celtic ancestry and be educated about the roles that the Celtic nations have played in our very own history and enjoy a very unique festival. Our expenses will be around $25,000 to $30,000. This is an estimate based on the amount of Doddridge County paid to have a similar Celtic festival earlier this year. Our main expense will be the venue, live entertainment, sound and stage engineers, travel expenses for the athletes, dancers, entertainers, insurance, handicap shuttle, portable restrooms, and advertising. Our basic income will be from ticket sales, vendor fees, t-shirt sales, donations, and sponsorships. I would like to ask the Randolph County Commission to support and assist us financially if possible. We would like to request the funding in the amount of $8,000, but any amount that you could provide would greatly be appreciated. We would also like to have permission to add the Randolph County Commission to our website, social media pages for your support. Any questions?
What is sheep tossing?
Sheaf.
Oh, okay, I thought you said sheep.
Not sheep. Sheep. So they have a burlap sack that's full of straw.
Okay.
And you're not allowed to touch it with your hands. You have a pitchfork. You have to stick it in the burlap sack, throw it over a high bar over your head.
Okay.
And it gets, I think the record is over 20 feet, so it's not an easy task. I mean, it flies off at the most awkward time.
I worked with a trooper over in the Panhandle that used to do them festivals and games all the time.
Yes.
Did he throw sheep?
I don't think he threw sheep.
They throw huge boulders and telephone poles, so.
We'll put Chris against the sheriff.
So at the end of the Highland Games, I would invite all of of course, these guys they're monsters. They're coming from all over. Some of them professional, amateurs, and of course the adaptive games for my handicap friends. We'll put all of them on the field with a large rope and let every child there try to pull the big beastly guys across the line with the tug of war.
You've already got this scheduled then, and?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When would you need the funding by?
It's not until June. I have a deadline that our incorporation has set for April 15th, easy to remember, tax day. So most of our funding will be coming in April, and the remainder of it, of course, is the day before when all the vendors come in to set up. They have to pay to set up.
Now, how many people do you think will participate?
I want to top Doddridge County's first year. They had 1,850 people on their first year, and the weather was not very desirable. It's too early in the spring as far as I'm concerned. I helped set that one up too, and my plan is to have a much bigger event. Plus, this area is way more populous. The biggest town close to Doddridge County Park is Salem, and it's not very large. So I'd say there's more people in Beverly than there is in Salem, more than likely.
Well, let us get, when Chris gets back, we'll go over it, and then we'll let you know.
Yes, sir, no problem. I have copies of this, plus my business card, if any of you would like one.
Yeah.
That way Chris can reach out to you.
Okay, yes.
Thank you.
And our website is up and running. It is on, I'll give you a copy of the web address. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
All right, next item on the agenda is informational presentation from Tigers Valley Homestead Association.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Brenda, Brooke. My name is Gloria Collett, and I was appointed to the Tiger Valley Homestead Association Board of Directors earlier this year to replace Secretary Roseanne Rozier, who stepped down to serve as the Homestead Community Center Secretary. In this role, my focus is on board development, training, governance, and compliance. I am a life member of the Homestead Association. I am a Homestead alumni, and I also serve as public relations representative and help run the fundraising committee. I bring more than 15 years experience to the Homestead Association, having served on a national fraternal board of directors in St. Paul, Minnesota, and also 2 years as an advisory board member for another fraternal board of directors based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm a 30-year retired county employee from the WVU Extension Service. It's my pleasure to present before my local Randolph County Commission this afternoon, and thank you for adding us to the agenda. The Tiger Valley Homestead Association, and I'll use TVHA, is a public nonprofit, tax-exempt 501c3 standalone organization incorporated on December 13th, 2017. The 5-member board-driven corporation owns and manages the historic Homestead Community and Event Center and the surrounding 17 acres of ground in Daly. TVHA's mission is to preserve the legacy and the history of the Tiger Valley homesteads of Daly, Valley Bend, and East Daly. Our purpose, as stated in our bylaws, is to address, educate, coordinate, and provide financial support for the preservation of the historic structure within the district served, the Homestead Community Center. TVHA was moving ahead with renovations to the community center building prior to the global pandemic. Revenue from fundraising activities, food sales, donations, and rental income paid our operating expenses, utilities, repairs, and maintenance, which averaged about $3,000 monthly. When the pandemic forced closure of the community center, we struggled month to month to keep our heads above water. We came to the place where we had to put the kitchen restoration project on hold.
Close.
That's close enough. And we borrowed from that fund to keep our insurance and utilities current. We had to protect the building. The building closure impacted our fundraising, especially from concessions, gym rentals, and classroom rentals. After closure in March 2020, our food sales dwindled to less than $3,000 from limited summer drive-thrus. The local health department would not allow us to open the community center at the end of that year for a craft show. Limited fundraising continued in 2021, and we ended the year with a negative balance in our general fund. The delay of the kitchen restoration project resulted in the community center not being able to reopen to the general public until January 22, when we held our first buckwheat feed. And by the way, we're having another buckwheat feed, a special one, on August 27th. We received funding from the Mountaineer, or a grant from the Mountaineer Food Bank, and we are doing this breakfast free of charge to adults age 60 and over, and children 18 and under. So you can help us spread the word.
You can eat for free, can't you?
Can you eat free?
I'm sure you're shy.
I can, but I'm gonna be up there working.
What time you starting?
It'll be 7 to noon.
7? Okay.
Yeah, and we're prepared to set up the gym for access.
All right.
Okay, TVHA understands that one of the defined uses of the American Rescue Plan from the local funding program is to support nonprofits. We need assistance recovering from the global pandemic and loss of revenue. We are requesting approval of revenue replacement from American Rescue Plan funding in the amount of $25,000, or whatever you can offer us. It seems as though people do not truly grasp the impact the Homestead Community and Events Center has on the Tigard Valley area. The community center is the bedrock of connecting with and uplifting the citizens of the valley. Since reopening the community center at the beginning of this year, we have begun the process of reconnecting people and communities. We drew crowds to our winter and spring buckwheat feeds with more than 300 attending in April. People were eager to finally feel comfortable enough to gather again, sit down and eat in a crowded place, and spend time socializing. They just keep hanging around after they get done eating. But it's good, they're just reminiscing and going down memory lane. The Southern Kitchen started its pop-up small business this year in the Homestead Community and Events Center's newly renovated commercial kitchen, and will be opening their new restaurant on Beverly Pike soon. Co-owner and Homestead Association life member Sherelle Harmon also serves as a member of the Tigard Valley Homestead Association Board of Directors. She's paved a way for others to do the same. Be watching for her grand opening soon. And by the way, she was with us at the beginning in 2018 as an AmeriCorps member. So she has a long history with us. We're super excited to announce that youth football, cheer, and soccer are utilizing the Homestead Community and Events Center's sport athletic field. Tigard Valley Youth Football and Cheer has been using the field this summer for preseason camp and practices. Youth soccer recently became a member of the West Virginia Soccer Association and will be using the Homestead field for practice and games. The walking track serves area residents on a daily basis, and we are very fortunate that a donated buddy bench will be soon installed on the field. Thank you for your consideration of this request for approval of ARP replacement funding for the Homestead Community and Events Center. And
I'm sorry.
if you need to see any of our financials, run along our lovely treasurer back here.
About how much money you think you lost in the time period?
Oh, Maggie, we drew off of our
Savings.
kitchen restoration funding that we had in savings and all. We ended the year in the negative,
What year was that?
21.
Okay. So if you have, like your profit and loss for 21 and then 20 compared to the two, is that pre?
I do, I've got financial statements
Yeah.
for the 2 years.
We'll need that, as a comparison.
Profit loss. Okay, did we just submit that to you?
She says she's got.
Oh, I don't know, okay.
Now,
We
this
just need something
doesn't,
to show that that you actually did have a loss and was during the COVID years. Cause we have to have all the documentation in case we get audited as
For
well.
justification on the
right,
funding.
With the closing of the building for the whole year of 2020, even we couldn't use it at the end for a craft show.
Mhm.
We couldn't have anyone in the building. We lost all the revenue we would have made from food sales, all the revenue from the gym. At the time, the closing, the gym was being utilized by the Board of Education for their football practice and then it continued in 2021. We still could not go in the building, have any crowds in the building. So we just was kind of cut off from society.
with our general fund, we have money reserved that people have donated for the restoration of the kitchen and dining room and for other projects we're doing. So we have money in the general fund, but it's not for us to use until those projects are finished. So that's where she's shown we have the negative. It shows in black and white that we have money in the general fund, but when you hold out all those reservations, then we're negative.
Your comparison from the money you made, though, your revenue that you made from one year to the
Right.
next was.
We, I brought glasses for a reason.
Wow.
In 2020, our net profit was only $2,984.20, and in 2021, our net profit from fundraisers was $8,717.79. So that's how much we made in 2021. But in 2021, people were still hesitant about coming out because
Do
of
you have
COVID.
like 2020 or like a year, like before COVID, what you?
The fundraisers that we're doing with the pancake breakfast have really brought a lot of income into Homestead, and that was, that's not really getting started until 2020. And
That was in our plan for the year 2021, and being a new organization that was formed in, I think my date was in, what was my date there, Maggie?
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, we didn't form until December 13th of 2017, so we only had a couple years there to get our thoughts organized and our plan for the year and develop a 5-year plan, and so that was limited there for a while, but
2022 would probably be a better year of showing what our fundraisers are
Just
doing
come back to
now,
it, yeah.
since we're out of COVID, but I don't have that information on here. I thought you were just interested in 20 and 21. But, buckwheat stops through the summer months and it starts up again in the fall. So, we just don't have apples to apples to compare yet because of the way the fundraisers are happening.
Okay.
that was our plan for 2021. For that year was to be able to get the kitchens done, and we're back into, operation. So,
Let us take this and get, when Chris is back, get a comparison and then see what we can do then.
Okay,
And then if we need more information for like 22 numbers, we can reach back out.
great,
okay, appreciate it.
Because like I said, we have to make sure that we have everything in line, because
absolutely.
when we turn it into, this federal government as well.
I get that,
Yeah,
Okay.
because it will be audited, so.
yes.
Well,
All right,
thank
you,
you for
ladies.
listening
Thank
to
you,
us.
Doug.
Thank you very much.
Next item on the agenda is consider approval of estimate for Digital Soup. We have a quote from Digital Soup, is to replace the battery backup in the old jail that supports the recording for the jail in the parking lots. So, and it is $899 even. So I have a motion to approve that estimate.
I'll make a motion to approve the estimate from Digital Soup in the amount of $899 to be taken from other building equipment.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the estimate from Digital Soup in the amount of $899 to be taken from other buildings equipment line. And again, this is to replace the battery backup in the old jail that supports the recorder for the jail and for the parking lot. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next item on the agenda is to consider acceptance and approval of the signature for the FY 2023 litter control grants. Peggy. And we'll go ahead and we'll move E down, so we'll cover the next couple of grants, since we'll just keep you up there.
Okay, this probably didn't need to be on the agenda because the resolution was already approved for this grant, and the resolution allows the signature of it. I'm not sure why I put it on there, but anyway, it's for, it was approved for us to purchase more trash cans to put out in our locations.
All right, so
in
we
our
already
control
approved
project.
it. It's done.
Yeah, the resolution was already approved, and the resolution actually approved the signing of the contract too, so I'm not
Okay.
sure why I put that on there.
So we'll go to the next one, consider approval of resolution for the electronics devices grant.
Yes, this one is the resolution for the covered electronics devices grant. What we're looking to do is to work with the Solid Waste Authority, do 4 collection events, try to do them quarterly this year. Normally they've been able to get those done for free, but they won't be able to anymore because of the gas increase and everything. The contractor's gonna start charging for these. So we will apply for a grant for the contractor. Also for promotion and advertising, so people.
This is like old TVs and
Yeah.
computers and stuff?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's get rid of them. We wanna do it quarterly.
Chris, you're on that thing. Do you have any, thing for that?
Yeah, I was just talking to Clark the other day. He said that he thinks they're gonna charge $3,000 to $6,000 to come each time.
Okay,
And it used to be free?
yeah, it used to be free, but that's fine.
Used to be free.
Okay.
So 3,000 to 6,000, I think I was, what was that?
How much you usually get out here? Like, is it a?
Well, I'll tell you what, I can ask for up to 20,000 without a match.
Alright,
And I think that's doable. I think that's close to what I was asking for anyway,
that's
cause
4
I've already
times,
got
right?
this written up.
We're doing it 4 times a year, so, okay.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping to do it. Right now, they've only got it, planned maybe once or twice, but with it being that much, they probably can't afford it at all unless we get this grant.
Yeah. So, how much does it get hauled off, Chris, usually? Is it a container, a whole container full, or?
Yeah, they usually bring down, they'll just depend, most time they bring a big box truck, once they get it full, you know, they.
About how many tons? Do you know right off the bat?
I'm not sure exactly how many.
Okay, I can figure it out.
is.
Okay. I just know they usually fill up a good container full, so.
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay, so we wanna apply for this. You'll have no match,
okay.
okay?
So do I have a motion for that?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for the covered electronic devices grant as presented.
Motion on the floor is to approve the resolution for the covered electronics device grants as submitted and presented. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, the next one is consider approval resolution for the West Virginia DECH grant.
That's actually DACH. It's Department of Art, Culture, and History. This is for a $5,000 grant that will allow us to have murals painted on the, concession and bathhouse up at the
Pool.
swimming pool. I've already spoken with Heather Johnson. She's wanting to do it. She's getting me some quotes together. If this is approved, you would have a 25% match, which would mean we would be spending $6,250 total. If, depending on her, whatever her cost is, you all will have to pay up to 25%. The most you will be paying for this grant is $1,250. That's if we use the full amount of the grant, okay? And it's to put, the murals all the way around all 4 sides of the, concession stand.
Cause we're going with the wilderness theme,
Yeah.
and that's what she's gonna be doing.
Yeah, and we also have to put like the rules and regulations and all that stuff in there, and probably have her to do that as well,
Okay,
okay?
so, can I have a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for the West Virginia DACH grant as presented.
So motion on the floor is to approve the resolution for the West Virginia DACH grant as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alrighty, next one is our West Virginia CFIA 20 cycle grant.
Okay, that's the, Courthouse Facilities Improvement Authority. Our previous grants have been to do the roofs of courthouse,
The jail.
jailhouse, and all that stuff.
And the sidewalks.
And the sidewalks. This grant here, I do not have a project description for yet. We can come up with one for it. I don't know if you want to do, I applied to the, DOT for the, front steps and the connector sidewalk back there. They usually don't announce those till later in the year. This deadline is due before they announce them. I thought maybe we would apply for it as a backup plan. And then if they award it, use the, do a change of scope on the transportation one. Or you could also do the renovations to the jailhouse with this.
Yes.
So whatever you all want me to do with this one.
I'd say with this one, we do the steps, cause it's gonna be expensive, the
Okay.
railing for the front and railing for the sides, like we have on the back.
Yeah, I think I have for the steps and that connector sidewalk back there, you know what I'm talking about? The final piece is in to connect all the way around the building for
It's,
walking
yeah,
path.
where it dead ended down here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I can't remember if it was 275 or 325. I had quotes for that. But either way, I thought maybe we should use this kind of as a backup in case we don't get that one.
yeah, cause we've been doing a lot of improvements for the courthouse and starting on the jail, so.
Right.
Next thing,
Now-
our next phase was the steps.
Yeah, now the only problem is, if you get this one for the steps and the sidewalk, the transportation one that you get cannot be used for the jail, okay? It'll have to be another project,
Okay,
okay?
okay. Motion?
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for the West Virginia CFIA grant as presented.
A motion on the floor is to approve the resolution for the West Virginia Courthouse Improvement 20 cycle grant. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right, we're gonna go back to, item E. And item E is the consider approval of payment application for pool splash pad project. All right, met with, Dan Hill and members from, I think it was Master Service, sorry, electrician company, Elks, last couple of Fridays ago. We're meeting them monthly to, on the progress of the pool. They're very much, I mean, you wouldn't believe how much they've gotten done already, even with all the rain. And this is our first, payment to them. And this payment amount is $352,439.87. Again, we're meeting monthly, and this is when they're gonna be turning these into us, so, they'll let us know the status, where they're at. Everything's good. I mean, they've, part of this, why this is so high this time around, they have to, half this is the down payment on all the splash pad figures. And again, we're going with the wilderness theme, so there's a lot of like bears and snakes and all kinds of, animals themed for the splash pad. So the bulk of this is going to secure those, so they had to put a down payment on those. But they've got the new gutters, the old gutter system around the old pool has been removed for a new aluminum, gutter system that they showed us. They've torn out the, old pump house, the new house building is there. They've already expanded the, concession area, stand area. They've done a lot of, grading, leveled off, cause we'll be adding the, covered, area there for seating. And it's just, once this project is done, it's gonna be amazing what it's gonna look like. So the first payment for this is $352,000, let me put my glasses back on, $439.87. So to have a motion to approve that.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the payment application from Dan Hill Construction in the amount of $352,439.87 to be taken from the community development.
All right, so motion on the floor is to approve our first payment for the pool splash pad project in the amount of $439.87 to be taken from our, community development line. All right, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Again, we'll be doing this, when we meet them again the first of next month, and then we'll have another draw. All right, next item on the agenda is to consider acceptance of the settlement agreement for the opioid litigation. All right, we have, these are all the resolutions received from our law that's representing us, Fitzsimmons Law Firm, a settlement agreement for this litigation. And our part of this is that every county has to approve this, right? And our share of whatever they recover is 0.7294% of what the settlement will be. So there's not a settlement yet, but if they reach a settlement, we have to give them a permission that we agree with, to let them go ahead and reach an agreement with them. And we say, okay, and if they do, then we get 0.7294% of that settlement for West Virginia from the settlement that they may reach. So, again, any counties that are involved in this have to, either say yes or no. I like to have a motion that we accept the, settlement agreement. We've had our prosecuting attorney look at this, and plus the lawyer that represents us, Fitzsimmons. They are all both in agreement that we accept the settlement. So, have a motion?
Yes, sir. I'll make a motion to accept the settlement agreement as presented.
Okay, so motion on the floor is to approve the acceptance of the settlement agreement for the opioid litigation that has been presented to us by Fitzsimmons Law Firm. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next item on the agenda is consider approval of the program member agreement with US Bank for West Virginia local P-card program. So the West Virginia government is changing the bank that they service the P-cards out of. The P-cards is what members, like you have a P-card, I have a P-card that we use if we have to buy something. So they're switching banks on that, so all the counties have to approve this switch over to US Bank for the local government P-card program. So do you have a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to approve the member agreement with US Bank as presented.
So motion on the floor is to approve the program member agreement with U.S. Bank for the West Virginia Local Government P-Card Program. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, next item on the agenda is to consider approval of appointment to Randolph County Unsafe Buildings and Land Enforcement Agency. Who do we have for that?
There we go.
Mike Brown, I think.
Keith Brown, yeah. I'll make a motion to reappoint Peggy Young Ross and Samantha Bodine to the Randolph County Unsafe Building and Lands Enforcement Agency, which will begin September 1st and end August 31st of 2023. It shouldn't be 2024, it's 2023. It's only a 1-year appointment.
It's a 2-year appointment, it says.
What's that?
2-year.
No, the only ones that are 2-year appointments are the, 2 at-large members. They're the only ones that are.
So this is a 1-year?
Yes, these are 1-year appointments. So again, I'll make a motion to reappoint Peggy Young Ross and Samantha Bodine to the Randolph County Unsafe Buildings and Lands Enforcement Agency beginning, September 1st of 2020 and ending August of 31st of 2023.
Alright, so motion to the floor is to, reappoint, Peggy and Samantha to a 1-year term beginning today and ending August 31st, 2023. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and I'll make a motion to appoint Keith Brown, to the Randolph County Unsafe Buildings and Lands Enforcement Agency as the fire chief representative for the county, beginning September 1st of 2022 and ending August 31st, 2023.
Okay. Motion on the floor is to approve, to appoint Keith Brown to the, designated seat that is a county fire chief on the board. And his term will begin immediately and end on August 31st, 2023. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alrighty. Final settlements and annual countings.
I'll make a motion to accept the, 4 final settlements as presented.
Motion on the floor is to approve the 4 final settlements as submitted. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Budget revisions.
Just one.
We have 1 budget revision. Is it from the sheriff? No,
Yeah, probably sheriff.
no. Surprise! It's an in-house budget revision. It's for, SSRT overtime, task force overtime. What is this? You know what it's for?
Bruce brought it over.
Is it just a,
Kathy prepared it and left it, she's on vacation, so I don't know.
it's just the same amount? It must be, they're moving it from one line to another line. It's an overtime, it's SSRT overtime. They're increasing that line, taking it from the task force overtime. So it must have been coded in the wrong line. Alright, so this is an in-house budget revision, moving $14,500 from the task force overtime to the SSRT overtime. Any further discussion? All in favor?
That is Sheriff Clemson.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion to approve the budget as presented.
Alright, so
Budget revision as presented.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, I think the sheriff coded something wrong.
When you were confused, I wasn't gonna correct you.
Yeah. Alrighty, Division of Properties Erroneous Assessments.
That's the division, just one, and then 21 right.
Okay. I'll make a motion to accept the, or to approve the 1 division of property as presented and the 21 erroneous assessments as presented.
Alright, motion on the floor is to approve the 1 division of property and 21 erroneous assessments. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any distressed properties?
Nope.
No distressed properties. Fire fees?
Nope.
No fire fees. Payment of the bills.